Hello and welcome to this video today about where we'll be talking about using a mind map or how to create a mind map. Now for the starting point of this mind map we're going to be using Access FM. So as the page comes in now you will see that our mind map is pre-populated with the Access FM keywords around the outside of it, and this mind map is looking at the next collectible toy. So we'll work our way around, starting with aesthetics, going all the way around to materials, adding in our points that are important. Now this is just a starting point for you to think about. So when you've done this, you can copy out these as the starting points, and then you need to add your own ideas. You can relate back to the Access FM sheets that you've had in lessons to help you. So aesthetics, we're talking about things like the appearance. So under appearance you can describe what it's going to look like, things like the shape, the dimension, maybe even the weight of considerations. And underneath weight you could actually put in an amount in grams, kilograms, depending on the project you're doing. Dimensions you can put in sizes, so you can say it needs to be 25 millimeters high, etc. Okay, so on all these points you can start to explain and expand your own ideas and thoughts and make it individual. So we've got the word bright, so if it's a children's toy and it's going to be collectible you want to use bright colours to entice them, so I think colours has just gone on there now. We've put about feel and texture, so is it smooth or is it going to have a textured finish? So it's all going to depend on what you're doing, but most of all if these are for young children and things, so we've got an age in our brief of 6+, you need to make them eye-catching. Now as we move on to cost, we're just putting in the little arrows there, so we're going to move on to cost. So we need to think about a few things here. So the things I'm thinking of is that collectible things, that normally comes in packs of 3s, 5. So think about things like that. How are you going to sell them? How much do you think they're going to sell for? You don't want them to be too expensive because you want to make sure that people are going to out and be able to collect them. You don't want them to be overpriced, that you can get one every now and again. So again, it's another reason why they're sold in sets, and you're probably looking at between £5 and £10. So then we have to start thinking about the customer. And notice I'm trying to keep it neat, I'm trying to lay things out so it's easy to read. So the customer, so who is the customer? Well, if you think about it, it's mainly going to be children. Now I've just realised at this point that I've not done something on the other things. I've forgotten to put my arrowheads on, so I'm just going back. You could use different colours to show different things, so each one of these points could come off as a different colour if you wanted to make it more aesthetically pleasing and stand out. So we'll just go back and add them points in. So back to customer. So my customer focus is going to be children. So okay, they've got to be 6+ because that's the age that we've been told, so 6+, and then we're going to look at boys and girls, or males and females. And then I'm thinking about themes. So what sorts of things do boys and girls like? So boys like cars, football. Girls would be dollies, teddy bears, maybe different types of soft animals and things. So you can start thinking about the themes or what your project might be about for these collectibles. What are they going to be based on? I used to have Micro Machines as a child. My daughter currently collects, or used to collect I should say, Shopkins and things. So customer, I'm also thinking about who's going to likely buy these. So you want to make sure if you're doing something that's collectible, it's going to be parents, grandparents who are going to be buying these things. So the parents are going to want to see value for money. So if they're buying them for gifts or birthday presents, exactly, they want to see value for money. So again, this links into cost. So when we use the word environment, which is our next point we're just coming on to, we're just adding the themes now. The environment, we want to think about how it affects the environment, but also you consider where they're going to be used. So for example, if they were an underwater theme or something, you might want to make them their bath toys or things you can use in the bath and play with there. So we also think about the 6 R's, so can it be recycled, reused, replaced, etc. So think about how it can be recycled and things like that. Where you're going to use them, we've just mentioned things like in the bath and that, where might these things be used. We're also going to add on to the environment the ideas about the packaging. So how are you going to package your product, because that's one of the points about this competition. How are you going to package it to make sure that it uses the least amount of packaging? So safety again, so you want to think about no small parts, you don't want to be choking hazards for example. Remember your age range, so 6+, so again that links to that idea of small parts. So explain why. So I've already explained about being choking hazards. When you come to size, you'll notice the arrow's going straight to no small parts. So showing that the size links to that no small parts and safety. And then I can put in some dimensions, or in this case I'm putting pocket size. I want my toys to be pocket size. I need to think that they're able to be collected, so easy to collect. So you don't want really big things, but then also I think I'm putting them boxes, so how could I collect them, where I'm going to store them, so you can put on things like this. Then we come to function. So we're thinking about the function of the product. So you've got to collect them, you're going to play with them obviously. Can they have another function that I've maybe not thought about? Add things on like that. So there's lots of other things you can on that, and you want them to inside. Now I've not included materials, you'll notice, because I'd like you to think about that with what you do. Also, remember this was just a starting point, so if you need to go back and have a look at things, add more detail to it. Look to add more things to your mind map. The more detail you put on there, the higher mark you're going to get. So once again, thanks for watching. We hope to see you soon.